Hello everyone and welcome to the second race in this ESL multi-class final. The first race was at Zolder, of course, and this is the second race at Oschersleben, if I can say that right. So this is the qualifying lap. You can see I'm in P2. I am just behind Mangator in the qualifying, car driver 1 behind me. My car is fixed. It's working normally, so this is how the car I expected to react here at this track. Where at Zolder it didn't react the same. Here it is reacting exactly how I expected. So see, I'm already 4 tenths up. I've got 26.1 first sector. That's pretty good. 0.0 is the best, but 0.1 is still a very good sector. As we come into here, it's very bumpy, this track. And I talked about anti-roll bars previously. I've since tried Mangator's anti-roll bars, and they were a bit quicker, but not taking anything away from Mangator's drive. His lap is absolutely phenomenal, so I don't get pole position here. But obviously I'm going for a faster lap. So as we come to the end of Sector 2, this is an interesting right and left-hander. So coming into here, 33.1, looking at 32.8 as the optimum there. You may think I've got in the gravel there. That isn't actually gravel, believe it or not. So you can actually use that area as we then come into this last corner. I think just being behind Johan there just cost me a bit of time. And that's a bit of a story really. I gave Johan about 8-10 second gap at the start of qualifying, and I've caused him up so much. So you can see now I'm right behind him. It's really cost me on this lap. Nowhere near my optimum, so I'm going to slow down. And I know Mangator's behind me, so I can let Mangator go. I see I'm still in P2 after that faster lap, and then I look to go again. So I know I've got a reasonable distance here to now do another lap, because Johan is far ahead. Mangator will catch Johan. I will then I won't catch Johan this lap, but it'd be potentially next lap. So I'm thinking, okay, let's go for it. You know, tyres warm now. I can actually go for this clean lap. So I'll start going around. I cut to Mangator a little bit there as he ran a little bit wide. But I'm still going through here. I'm still up on my time, as you can see. But I accidentally clipped that curb. That's a dangerous curb, that, on the PlayStation. Unfortunately, I did get out again. But as you can see in the bottom right, I only had a minute left of time. So I was like 4 seconds too late to get this lap in, but I thought I'd show you this anyway because it's a really quick lap up until the end. So you can see I'm about 2 tenths up on my lap time as we come into this second corner here effectively, and there's a 0.0. That's what we're after. So you can see I am on a good lap, and so I got a 0.9 earlier on, of course. So at the moment we're on for about a 0.8, 0.7 as we come into this corner. Now my best has been a 0.5. You can see I'm down to P3 at the moment, so it would have been great this, if this had come off really, as we come through this chicane very nicely. And we're now going to go about 2 tenths up there as we come to the end of Sector 2. So you can see I'm still aiming to improve, still in P3. As we come through here now, I'm really up on my time, nearly 3 tenths up on my time. And it's just gone down to 2.5 tenths-ish. And driver R1's just about to pick me to it. As I come into this last, I got a 33.0 there middle, so potentially there that could have been a 0.7 or a 0.6 lap, so I could have been up there, but even so, 4th place, I'm happy. My car's reacting as I expected it to. I can have a good final race. That's my feeling here. I'm like, yes, I've got this. So let's get ready for a cracking start. I go for a risk here. Look at that start again. I have to brake. I have to go on the brakes there. If Michael wasn't there, I was on the front row, I could have been away into the lead there, but unfortunately I had to brake. Going into this corner, Johan comes down the middle. I'm not sure where he wanted to go there. The minute he contacts me, we have the contact bug, and I can't stop the car then. So, you know, I sort of stay on the track. Johan doesn't. We come on, and I unfortunately contact Raskaman there as well. So apologies to Raskaman for affecting his race there. So now I've got to carry on, and hope I can make up some positions. I know I'm quick here. My average is a 1 minute 18 lap. In the race. As I say, I do race sims, so it's like, here we go again, basically. Can I catch up to the rest of the field and really go for it? So you can see there my teammate in front losing the back end. Now afterwards I found out he had damage on his rear end, which is why he kept losing the back end. At the time I just thought he was pushing really hard to stay with Boxer, so I can't overtake here, of course. Let's come into this chicane. I back off, let him go through, and then I put my foot down here, and I wasn't expecting him to come back over. I was expecting him to go to the exit. I'd make contact with him, and unfortunately I get huge damage here at this point, and so does Bishop as well. So mixture of my fault, but I wasn't expecting him to stay tight and lose the back end at the same time. Even he said that, you know, he had damage. So that was my race effectively ruined a little bit more, but there's still some good action in this, so do keep watching. So my challenge once again, try and get through all the GT cars. You can see Johan behind me now. I've now got to try and get past these guys. Really, I was just in the wrong place there. Johan made the right decision, went to the right hand side. So Johan overtakes me. I've then got the 2 challenger guys in front of me. They don't have to get out of the way, of course. They're racing their own race as well. So I've got to find a place to overtake. And I'm looking now to see where I can make that move. You've got Spider just behind me as well. So down the inside's the best place. Really, in these LMP cars, you're looking for tighter lines to overtake these guys, because GT cars will run wide. They've got less downforce. So you can see Darwin runs a little bit wide there. Not sure whether he's letting me through or not, but I'll take that opportunity to get up through into that position. Next up is Joker. So unfortunately I had a little bit of contact with Joker at Zolder, but that was just racing instant really. He left the gap open there and then it sort of closed, but I'm obviously in a quicker car and things like that. Bit of an issue. So obviously coming to this chicane last time with my teammate, obviously we had that incident. And you can see how here Joker runs wider. That's literally what I was expecting to happen. You saw how tight it was with Bishop, but Bishop lost the back end, so he just came straight across again. That's what I expected to happen with Joker there. You know, that's what I anticipated. Nevertheless, I continue on. The motto of this racing in this channel, as I've said with my bad luck in this championship so far, is never give up. Never give up. You don't know what can happen in a race. Someone could get disconnected. There could be a major crash and suddenly you gain a load of positions. You don't know. So I'm going to push on. I am at the back of the pack in the LMPs once again, but at least I've got a car that I know is reacting the right way, even though it's a little bit damaged. And you can see here I broke so early. That's how much speed I lost basically, because normally I brake there and I make that corner perfect. Fortunately in this instance I don't. But we'll get onto lap times a little bit later. So you can see there, Boxer goes to the right side, takes his racing line, brakes a bit earlier I think there just to let me through. Boxer's got a very clear lead in the challenger class, and so I then start to try and catch up to Johan. So 3 seconds down to literally nothing in 1 lap basically. So this is 1 lap later, I'm behind Johan and the battle for 7th place begins. Now I think Johan's got a bit of damage, I've got a bit of damage as well, so it's pretty even. But as I say, I'm fairly quick at this track. I am, well, not even fairly quick, I am quick at this track. Which is surprising really, because it's not a track that favours my sort of driving style. But in the race sims that I did, 118s, fortunately I'm only doing 119s now. You can see by my first sector, 26.6, that's how far off the pace I am. 33.7, that's because I am behind Johan, and I've got to look for a place to overtake. Now this track for overtaking is solid. There's hardly any places to overtake. There's not enough real slipstream to, you know, get them in the braking zone or anything like that. And I want to do it cleanly, you know, and I do want to overtake Johan. I want some pride in this, so I'm going to try and look for a move. So into the first corner we go. I'm looking for any weaknesses at this point. You can see he runs a little bit wide there. Once again, run a little bit wide, then comes tight. That's the usual racing line. I was trying to get a bit tighter, get some clean air. I get a good exit there. Now this is the bit, I get a really good exit, so I go for the move down the inside. What a move that is, I think. And I stay tight, I stay tight, I stay tight. But for some reason, Johan sort of kept turning a little bit in my mind, but racing instant, generally speaking. So anyway, drop back. I purposely drop back because I want to overtake cleanly. So I'll let Johan go ahead again. I want a clean overtake. I know I'm going to sort of try and make my move now, but Johan's going to know I'm going to try and do that. So I'm going to pick another place. So I'm now thinking of more unusual spots to overtake on this circuit. Obviously I'm too far behind here for a dive bomb, so I'm going to try and take a wide and inside line. Running a little bit too wide, and then something I wasn't expecting was a cut track penalty. So I got a 5-second penalty. A few laps later I've cut Johan up again, but yeah, that 5-second penalty, not sure why it exists there. I've run wide, it's the slower line by a mile because I'm on the grass, but there we go. We continue on, and Johan makes a mistake into the first corner. And I managed to go around the outside. I think Johan's actually got a penalty there. So I get that 7th position. And I'm a bit more happier with that. Now coming up to the challenges to lap them. And I think Bishop's actually in the pits. So I'm not sure who's first up. It's Dofferer in the Z4. Nice and easy overtake to the right hand side. And we'll go through obviously all the challenges once again. I like to see all the action from the race. Now, to me, I was gutted that I didn't manage to get a decent race in this final. Zolder was weird, but here I had that opportunity. Just a bit frustrating with qualifying more than anything, to be honest. Yeah, it's the way it is. It's sometimes in racing. Sometimes you have good luck, you have bad luck. You know, good days, bad days. Coming up to two challengers fighting here. So it's Darwin Down and Joker fighting each other for 11th position. So I can get a bit more acceleration. Now my car has got damage, so with this slipstream I should actually easily hit 6th gear here. And oh, I do. So I can actually brake in my normal place. How about that? I didn't think I hit 6th gear, but I do. But as I say, it should be really easy. I should be top end of the revs at that point in the slipstream. And once again, as I say earlier, stay tighter when you're overtaking GT cars, because they can't do that. You can carry more momentum out the corner, even on a tighter line. So next up is going to be Spider. We can just see his black car in the distance. And through these left-handers we go. Now Spider does get out the power. He gets out quite early, quite often, to Spider. We saw at Zolder in the Aston, he pulled well out the way for myself, and also the battle behind me at Zolder, which was Johan and Raskament. So I'll come on to this straight. About to catch up to Spider very quickly, and as I say, he does pull out of it, like, pretty sharpish. But fair dues to Spider, you know, it's good of him to do that. He doesn't have to do that. There we go, just brakes, easily gets out of the way, lets me through. So very kind of Spider there. And then we've just got one more driver to overtake in the Challenger. But essentially I do finish in 7th position in this race. A bit unfortunate really, as I say, with the incident at the start. I'm not sure where Johan wanted to go. If Michael wasn't there, I could have easily propelled myself, because I got an absolutely immense start. Absolutely immense. Say I broke and I was still in that position. But 4 wide into that corner doesn't go, and unfortunately that contact bug where you stick together meant I couldn't actually slow down either. But what will be, I'm obviously going to keep going, never give up. So the next season has already been announced for the multi-class. The pro class is team based and invite only. Now GTA hasn't been invited to that one because we're such a young team. However, we are still going to fight in Challenger class, because we never give up, as I say, and I keep saying. So you will see me in Challenger this time. So it'll be a bit unusual to be the one being overtaken by the LMP cars. Boxer, nice of him there just to move to the right hand side. Doesn't have to do that. And yeah, Challenger. So I'll be in the. It's also on PC as well. So there'll be 29 cars on track, and there's 7 teams basically in it. So there's TX3, VP. Esports and Cars, SDL, BAM, TRL, and Eurogenics, I think they're called. They're the 7 teams in it, so there's 14 of those, so that means there'll be 15 Challenger guys. We're going to try and dominate the Challenger class, and hopefully come away with at least a championship title in the Challenger class. But it does mean we might have to do a lot of Go 4s on PC. And all the Go 4s on the PC are actually in the LMP category as well. So it'll be interesting to see. You can just see my first sector there, by the way. You know, I mentioned about the damage. That's a 26.4. So essentially I worked out the damage is costing me about 7-8 tenths of that, basically. It was costing me compared to what I was consecutively doing in my race sim. But yeah, the next Challenger, the next multi-class, sorry, is going to start very soon. It's the end of May it'll start, but I'll tell you more about that when we get closer to it. It's on PC, and once again it'll be covered on the channel from my own personal highlights when I'm actually in the race. Of course, it's been live streamed as well by the official guys over there. But that's been my first season of the ESL Multi-Class Championship. I finished overall in 4th place. I won €250 as well, which is quite a nice bonus really. To say I had such bad luck. You know, I had the pace in there. You saw that in each race. My starts were cracking. I just have to try and get rid of some of that bad luck, which I will try and do. And you can see some of the fast laps there. So like hardly anybody getting in the 18s. I was doing them consecutively in my race sim. So that gives you an idea of my sort of pace. But thanks very much for watching and following and supporting me in this championship. And I hope to see some of you watching the live stream of the next season in the Multi-Class Championship. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.